Greetings. My name is Bruce Leonards, and I welcome you to this episode of We're Entrepreneurs, We Can Help. Together with my co-host, Martha McCormick, and Ann Larson, our producer, we are pleased to bring you this episode. This happens to be a recap of our January 6th episode. Some technical difficulties prevented us from publishing that show. We did have a couple of really great guests, Sandy Ehrig with Renew Rural Iowa, and Kent Sovereign with Iowa New Entrepreneurs Group. What we hope to do with this recap is give you the benefit of the information that they shared. There was a lot of it and a lively discussion. Unfortunately, we can't give you that live show experience, so I apologize for that. First, I'm going to start with our weekly connections piece. This is just a summary of events that are going on in the next few weeks that we want to share that we think will be of interest to people who are entrepreneurs and business people. One of the things that we found out about those people and we know about ourselves is that we have a wide variety of interests, and our connections piece this week is geared toward that. This happens to be about finding an outlet for our creativity during the winter and doing that in gardening. There are lots of opportunities starting up in January and continuing into February. So let's get started. First one we've got is Ann Larson, our producer and the Iowa Garden Coach, along with Martha, my co-host, and Next Step Adventure, are teaming up for a January 15th offering called Garden for Your Life. This experiential workshop will offer participants a chance to envision the garden that best fits their lives. Whether you're a busy young professional or an older gardener transitioning to a less labor-intensive garden, there will be fun and creativity at this workshop. Participants will leave with a vision of where they will start to create their garden that fits their lives. The session runs this Saturday, the 15th, from 10 a.m. to noon at Doherty's Florist Meeting Room on 2nd Avenue in Des Moines. You can go to www.iowagardencoach.com for registration information. Next up is Des Moines Botanical Center, which actually last Saturday kicked off a series of Learn on Saturdays classes. All of the classes are held at the Levitt Room in the north wing of the Botanical Center on 2nd Avenue in Des Moines. Seating is available for the first 60 people. There is a fee for each class, $5 for members, $10 for non-members, and you can pay at the door or make reservations in advance. Advance reservations are made by emailing Elvin McDonald at emcdonald, that's EMCDONALD, at botanicalcenter.com. The Iowa Arboretum in rural Madrid has several garden events coming up. Saturday, January 22nd, the Arboretum is sponsoring a gardening symposium called A Celebration of People and Plants. The connection between people and plants will be explored in this Winter Garden Symposium. Lecturers will include Jane Hogue from Prairie Peddler, and her topic is going to be entertaining in the garden. Dr. Jen Busalat, Iowa State Master Gardener Coordinator, she'll be talking about edible landscaping. And Bob Hendrickson from Nebraska Statewide Arboretum on prairie plants and their uses. This symposium counts as Master Gardener Continuing Education credit as well. On Saturday, February 5th at 10:30 a.m., the Arboretum will be offering a class called Terrariums with a Twist. Terrariums are trendy again with all the rage for Victorian era. Participants will create their own ecosystem in a glass-enclosed artistic landscape. Visit the Arboretum website or call 515-795-3216. Next up, down south in Indianola, our Master Gardener neighbors have put together an impressive program for February 26th called Think Spring, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Great Hall at Simpson College. Speakers include Susan Applegate Hurst, freelance writer and consultant from Winterset, Mike White, state viticulturalist from Indianola, ISU Extension Forestry Specialist Jesse Randall, and Sheila O'Reilly from Lenox. A garden market will also be featured as part of the workshop. Registration is $40 and includes lunch. Registration deadline is February 16th. Details call 515-961-9420. Our guests this week were Sandy Ehrig and Kent Sovern. Sandy is the Economic Development Administrator for the Iowa Farm Bureau Federation. Sandy works to connect business and resource providers through the Renew Rural Iowa program. It's a comprehensive initiative providing education, technical assistance, mentoring, and financial resourcing existing businesses as well as for new entrepreneurs. Sandy also serves as a vice president on the board of directors for the Professional Developers of Iowa. With more than 25 years of experience in economic development, Sandy worked most recently as the administrator for community development at the Department of Economic Development. Prior to that, she served as the director for business development with 5 Central Iowa Rural Electric Cooperatives. Renew Rural Iowa, which can be found on the web at www.renewruralia.com, is designed to help increase the enterprise value of new and existing businesses in Iowa's small towns through a program of business education along with other resources. This is accomplished by bringing together seasoned experts and critical resources with the business owners they seek to help grow. One of the ways that Renew Rural Iowa is making this happen is the Development Center, incorporated in 2003 as a community-sponsored nonprofit that has successfully assisted over 300 Iowa-headquartered businesses in starting or expanding entrepreneurial enterprises. One of the chief goals of the EDC is to create local wealth in rural areas of Iowa that can be then reinvested locally to help grow those businesses and other local businesses, some into regional, national, or even international businesses. Renew Rural Iowa has received over $25 million in funding from 10 different investors. This is excellent evidence not only of broad-based support for the efforts of the group, but of the perceived needs that RRI addresses. You can get to know more about Renew Rural Iowa and how they can help you by attending a free one-day business success workshop being held at Western Iowa Tech Community College in Denison. That's on January 27th. Registration begins at 7:45 a.m. and the program runs from 8:30 to 3:30. That includes a hosted luncheon that will include networking with other attendees as well as financial and technical resource providers. RRI will round out the month of February with a celebration of entrepreneurial spirit in Iowa over a 2-day period in Dubuque. Our other guest, Kent Sovern, was also an exciting participant in the show. Kent is currently Executive Director at Iowa Parks Foundation and President of New Iowa Entrepreneurs Group. Previously, Kent served as Executive Director at Des Moines Higher Education Collaborative and Senior Vice President at Greater Des Moines Partnership. Kent played a key role at the Papa John Center for Higher Education, where he started a program called The Reluctant Entrepreneur. This program brought together business resources including DMAC, SCORE, and Benchmark from Bob and Susan Clemens' eMyth program, which served as the primary business model for the program. Benchmark now boasts 400 members connecting people to resources and 7 centers for leadership development and other key entrepreneurial services. These programs, presented by both Sandy Ehrig and Renew Rural Iowa and Kent Sovern with the New Iowa Entrepreneurs, are helping to lift Iowa out of the basement in terms of entrepreneurship in the U.S. Kent's New Iowa Entrepreneurs Group can be found on meetup.com, and on January 27th, the New Iowa Entrepreneur is having a meetup at 5:30 p.m. That'll include a tax workshop and is going to be held at 301 Grand Avenue in Des Moines in the E Building's cafeteria. Coming up on We're Entrepreneurs, future episodes, January 13th is going to be Our Own Stories. Ann, myself, and Martha McCormick will talk about our own ventures in entrepreneurialism and some of the history behind that. On January 20th, we're going to be talking about energy. There's a lot of entrepreneurship in Iowa with energy, both agricultural based and wind based, and that proves to be a exciting show. January 27th will be virtual entrepreneurs. The internet opens up a wide variety of opportunities, and we're going to be talking with some of the people who have seized some of those. Social media, something that we really can't escape anymore, and it's becoming more and more a part of the way we do business. On February 10th, we're going to be talking about the arts, mostly kids in art, and we're doing a little bit of investigation into art education and how that affects people as they grow up to be employees and business owners. On February 17th, we have entrepreneurialism as Plan B, kind of going back to that reluctant entrepreneur that Kent has been talking about, and that'll prove to be a very interesting session as well. During that week, February 17th show, we will have, or we hope to have anyway, a special on-location report from yours truly, who will be on a cruise ship in the Western Caribbean, and I will be hopefully coming live to you from the Mexican coast during that show. That's it, and thank you for joining.